Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I'm going to be your yoga instructor here today. So, today's series is part of the beginner, intermediate, and advanced series. It's a class that is focusing on your hips and your low back, something that many of us would like to loosen up or experience a little bit more lightness in, a little bit less tension. So, today's practice is the first in this series, and we're going to be working from a chair. As you can see, I'm already in my chair here today. And it can be great to start to learn these postures from the very basic, from the most modified version, and then work your way all the way up to the more advanced, the deeper expressions of these postures, which is what we're going to be doing in this series. So as we get into the practice, just a couple things to know where your limits are. If you feel ready to extend, you're welcome to. Again, if you kind of want to just stay where I guide you, that is great too. Also keep in mind, I don't often cue water. So if and when you feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seat in our chair. Today I'm sitting in a metal chair here. It's got a little bit of a cushion. You want something that's a little bit more firmer. It's got 4 feet on the ground. That's going to offer you some stability and support. So go ahead, feel your sits bones root down into the surface beneath you, maybe wiggling back and forth here. Then we'll sit up nice and tall. We're going to inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. One more time. Inhale as the shoulders come forward and up, and then exhale as they drop back and down. Bring your hands into a comfortable position, whether on your legs, palms up or down, or more so in your lap. You're welcome to close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or simply find an unmoving point and soften your gaze here today. From the book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, comes this quote. What do you think is the biggest waste of time? Comparing yourself to others. End quote. In our yoga practice and in life, there is no bigger waste of time than comparing ourselves to others. In addition to being vastly different and unique beings, we can never know the challenges another person faces. And what may seem like a molehill to us may be a mountain to them. Comparing ourselves to others is a machination of the ego, one meant to take us out of connection with ourselves and others. If we can stay in connection with our true self and see the light in others, we can let go of comparison and acknowledge we're all just trying to do our best. Today, I invite you to notice if you start comparing yourself to someone else during practice, even a former or a future version of yourself. When it happens, notice it, detach from that comparison, and come back to connecting with what is present in your body right now. So settling in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you fill the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you feel your belly expanding outward like a big balloon. And then exhale as you draw your belly button in toward your spine. Inhale as you feel your torso expand, your collarbones gently lift. Exhale as you feel your shoulders release down and away from your ears. Inhale that air in your nose, down your throat, filling your lungs. And then exhale as you squeeze that air out of your lungs. Move it up your throat and out your nose. Continue breathing in this way, inhaling and exhaling with intention, just noticing the movements of the breath here. If you notice that your mind wanders off on a thinking adventure, that's okay. Notice the moment that you've gone away, celebrate the noticing, and then come back to your breath, Come back to focusing on the inhales and exhales. I'm going to get quiet for just a few more moments here. Now, as you breathe, if you'd like to incorporate a mantra to help the mind stay grounded and focused, perhaps incorporating the following into your practice. Inhale, I can remain. Exhale, in connection. Inhale, I can remain. Exhale, in connection. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. Taking another deep inhale here as you set an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take another deep inhale here as you set that intention, feeling it with your heart and your mind. And then exhale that breath out, set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. So reaffirming yourself in your seat here, maybe a wiggling back and forth to feel yourself root into the sits bones. We're sitting up nice and tall again, and we're away from the back of our chair slightly. We're going to begin with just a few simple postures to help open up our spine here today. So we're going to inhale, sweep your right arm up overhead. Your left arm can either remain on your leg, you can drop it down to the side if you'd like. And then exhale, lean over to the left, really reaching through those right fingers, coming into a seated side bend. So we're lifting through the torso, reaching through those fingers, feeling that gorgeous line of energy and pulling from the fingertips down into the top of that right side hip. If you're reaching that left arm down, actively reaching through that left hand down toward the floor, bringing a little bit of a stretch and a pull into that left shoulder blade space as well. Of course, it's an option, not a requirement. You can have that left hand on the top of the left thigh here. Great. And then inhale, let's go ahead and switch. Right arm drops down. Inhale, left arm up overhead. And then exhale, lean over to the right, reaching through those left fingers. So again, right hand can stay on top of the leg. You can also actively reach it down toward the floor. Torso is lifted. We're reaching through those top fingers, feeling that line of energy through that left side body now into the top of the left hip. Starting to wake up and open up the spine here. Feels so good, so lovely. We're nice and rooted into our sits bones here. Good. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Let it go when you're ready. And then inhale, come back into center, both arms down. Nice work. We're going to take some seated twists. So inhale, both arms sweep up nice and tall. And then exhale, twist over to your right. So left hand comes to the outside of the right leg, and right arm either just reaches behind you, or you can hold on to your chair back if that's accessible and use it to help create a little bit of torque, a little bit of tension here to rotate your body around. Curve that nose around as far as you're able. So we're feeling that nice deep twist through the spine. You're still sitting up nice and tall here. But we're feeling that squeezing as if you're wringing out a washcloth here through the spine, through the body. Really nice work. Lovely. And then inhale, we're going to come back into center, arms sweep tall. Exhale, twist over to the left. So right hand to the outside of the left leg. And then that left arm, again, either just reaches directly behind you, or you can grab onto your chair and use it to help create some extra tension here, extra torque as you twist your body around. Curving that nose around as far as you're able without straining the neck here. Really bringing that twist all the way up into the cervical spine here, into the neck. Feeling that nice pull through the right shoulder, nice ringing sensation, as if we're wringing out the body, getting rid of all those cobwebs, those cricks, those cracks. Wonderful. And then inhale, let's go ahead and come back to center, arms come tall. Exhale, drop your hands down and bring them onto your lap or onto your knees. We're going to do a couple seated cat cows. I'll turn to the side here so you can see the movement of my back a little bit easier. So I'm on the edge of my chair. I'm sitting up nice and tall. So on the inhale, I'm going to press the belly forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now, if you have any injuries in the neck, that chin can stay level with the floor. Otherwise, lift your gaze up toward the sky, coming into your seated cow. And then on the exhale, press the knees away, hollow out the back and the belly. Feel the shoulder blades separate for a seated cat. Inhale into a seated cow. Pull on those legs, squeeze the shoulder blades. Feel the heart center open nice and deep here. And then exhale into cat. Hollow out that back and the belly. Squeeze the chest together as you feel that opening through the upper back here. Good. Inhale into a nice deep cow again, looking up, feeling that opening through the throat. And then exhale into a nice deep cat. Feel that stretch through the back of the neck here. Good. Excuse me. And then inhale back into neutral. Really great work. So making sure that your chair is maybe toward the back of your mat so you have a little bit of room to work in front of you. I'm going to stay off to the side here just to start with today. So we're going to start with our hamstrings here. So go ahead and extend that left leg straight out in front of you. Again, coming forward onto that really front edge of the chair. This is where you want a nice sturdy chair here. And then keeping your right leg at a nice 90-degree angle here for extra support. We're going to keep our left toes flexed. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, hinge at the hips, lean with the heart center, folding forward over the legs here. So as you hinge from the hips and keep your back nice and straight, you're going to start feeling that pull through the back of the leg. Woo, we're feeling it here. So let's take a couple deep breaths here, pulling those toes in, pressing with the heart center instead of rounding the back and pressing with the nose. If you do this, you're immediately going to lose that stretch in the leg here. So again, staying up nice and tall, hinging from the hips. And if you can't go very far, but you're feeling the stretch, that is okay. That's what we're going for here today. It doesn't matter how far you can fold forward. What matters is you're feeling that nice deep stretch through that hamstring back of the leg here. Let's take another deep inhale here. Another deep exhale. Good. Another deep inhale. Another deep exhale. Good. Inhale. Let's go ahead and engage the core, lift our torso, and switch sides. So left foot comes down onto the floor, and then right leg extends, toes are flexed. So again, we'll inhale as we lengthen through the spine, exhale, hinge at the hips, lead with the heart center, and fold forward over this front leg here. Ooh, I'm really feeling it on my right side here today. So a couple options here with your hands. I didn't cue on that first side, but you can have them for support on the shin, on the thighs, on your hips. You can even be holding on to your chair. We just don't want to press down on our knee joint on that right leg. We don't want to overextend it by pushing it down toward the floor. So find what works best for you. Chin is slightly tucked. We're long through the neck, reaching through the crown of the head while we're also folding forward and feeling that pull through the back of the leg. You may also start to feel this in your hips and the low back. Notice that that shows you that everything is connected here. And in order to really loosen up our hips and our low back, we've got to get into our legs first. So let's take a couple more deep breaths here together. Good. Inhale, engage the core. Go ahead and lift that torso on up and bring the sole of the foot back to the floor. Excellent work. Let's go ahead and come into a standing position here. And we're going to rotate this chair around. So again, you want it in a nice stable position, and you're going to use the back of the chair for support here. Okay. So standing right by the chair, we're going to start with our left foot on the floor, and we're going to extend our right leg straight out behind us here. So notice here, I'm bending my front knee. Okay. I may need to bring my left foot forward a little bit more. And then when you're ready, inhale nice and tall, and then exhale, sink into a nice high lunge here using your chair for support. Great. So a couple things to notice. When you look down, you should be able to see your first two toes, your big toe and that first middle toe here. We want a nice angle there with that knee. So we don't want to extend it too far back, and we don't want to be back too far behind the foot. So again, if you can look down and see those two toes, you probably got good alignment here. Our hips are squared with our chair here. We're pressing the eye of our right knee toward the sky. Heel is really pressing toward the back of the mat, and we're holding on to the chair for support. Now, if out in front of you does not feel good, you can always turn to the side and have it beneath one of your arms, whether that's right or left, for side support as well. Notice what works here for you, okay? Adjust as you need. But we're going for a nice deep stretch in that right hip flexor right now. So let's take a couple deep breaths here. Nice deep inhale. Let it go. When you're ready, hinge forward here. Feel how your weight shifts onto that front foot, and then press off that back foot to step to the top of your mat. Great work. We're going to do this on the opposite side. So weight comes into that right foot now, and then step your left foot back here. Good. So again, take a moment, check in with your legs. You may need to bring your right foot forward slightly. And then exhale, bend that right knee and sink down into your high lunge. So again, when you look down, can you see those first two toes on your foot? If not, make adjustments here. It's right to the inside of your knee. Your back leg is long, eye of the knee presses toward the top of the room, heel is spiking down toward the mat. We're feeling that nice opening in the left hip flexor. Our hips are squared with our chair. We're using our chair for support. You can also have it by your side here if that feels better or more supportive for you here today. So wherever you are, let's take a couple deep breaths here together. Great. Inhale, lean that chest forward, and then go ahead, press off that back foot to step back to the top of your mat. Great work. All right, let's go ahead and move our chair. I'm going to move it to the center of my mat. I recommend you just kind of move yours back to the center of your mat as well. And we're going to come back into our seated position on the mat. So we're going to go ahead and first target our IT bands here. So let's go ahead and extend our right foot straight out in front of us once again, coming to the edge of the mat, and our foot is going to be on the floor on that left side. I'm going to demonstrate it head on, and then for the opposite side, I'll demonstrate from the side so you can get both views, okay? So we'll sit up nice and tall on the inhale. Good. On the exhale, we're going to hinge forward, just like we did with our seated forward fold here, right? That hamstring stretch. This time, we're going to take our opposite arm, so our left arm, and reach across and grab either the shin or the outside of that calf on the right leg. And then exhale, rotate open to the right side, lifting that right arm, coming into your IT band stretch here, your revolve triangle. Oh my gosh, we are feeling this stretch here. If this bothers the right shoulder or arm, hand can always be on the hip here. But we're trying to open up that torso, get that twist through the spine. So we're also getting the pull to the outside of that right leg here. Good. Wherever you are, let's take a couple deep breaths here together. Good. Inhale, gently untwist. Go ahead and lift that torso up. Bring that right foot to the floor. Great. I'm going to rotate to the side here so you can see it from the side view. So now this time, extend that left leg straight out in front of you here. Right foot of sole of the foot is on the floor. We'll inhale as we lengthen through the spine, and exhale, excuse me, as we hinge at the hips, leaning forward here. Good. Take that right arm, reach to the calf or the outside of that shin, outside of the calf on that left leg. And then exhale, rotate open to the left side, coming into your revolve triangle or that IT band stretch here on the opposite side. Woo, we are feeling it here. Again, top arm can be on the hip if that is better for your body, not putting weight on the knee, but instead on the leg here. So we're not overextending that joint. Rotating that torso open so we feel that nice pull to the outside of the left leg. And keep in mind, if you're feeling the stretch instead, again, in the hamstring, that is just where you're tighter. Does not mean you're doing it wrong, but that's just where your body is resonating with this stretch. Keep doing what you're doing and breathing. Good. Inhale, let's gently untwist, rotating back to neutral and bringing our torso back up. Bring that sole of the foot back to the floor. Great job. I'm going to stay from the side view. We're going to move into our modified triangle pose now. So this time we're going to extend that right leg straight out in front of us here. Good. We're going to bring this right leg or this left leg out to the side as much as we can. Okay. If it's at an angle, it is okay. It's not a problem. We're going to open up our hips here so we have a wider angle. Good. We're going to take our right leg or right hand and slide it down our leg, either on the thigh, or if you can, get it down to the shin or the ankle. And then on the next exhale, go ahead and rotate open, lifting that left arm tall, coming into your triangle pose. So we're opening up the inside of our leg here. Good. This left leg can start to open up as much as it's able. Don't press it if that's not feeling good for you here. Rotating open through the spine, lifting through that left arm. Hand can always be on the hip if that's more supportive for you. Pulling those toes in toward the shin. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. Deep inhale. Exhale, go ahead, rotate the torso down, press yourself on up, and bring your legs back into neutral. Great. I'm going to face forward now so you can see it from the forward angle as well. So this time, go ahead and extend your left leg straight out in front of you. Bring that right leg out to an angle as far as you're able. No requirement here. And then we're going to slide our left hand down the leg as far as we're able to get it without straining our body. On the next exhale, go ahead and rotate open with that right arm coming into triangle on this opposite side. So again, we're feeling that pull through the inside of our left leg, opening through the top of that right hip. Torso is nice and open. Top arm can always be on the hip if that feels better for you. Just knowing what feels right here for your body, what it's calling for. A couple deep breaths. Good. Inhale, go ahead and release that posture. Bring yourself back on up into neutral. Great work here. All right, and we're going to open up those hips. Last posture here before our final relaxation. So come to the edge of your chair here. This is our ultimate hip opener. We're going to go ahead and take our right ankle and bring it to the top of our left knee. So right ankle to left knee. Great. If your leg's kind of sticking up, that's okay. We want to get to the point where we're able to kind of work it into more of a flat and perpendicular or parallel to the floor, perpendicular to your other leg position, but that'll come with time and more practice, okay, for most of us. So finding a good spot for your ankle here should be kind of on that fleshy lower part of your thigh. We're going to inhale as we lengthen through the spine, keeping that right foot gently flexed, and then exhale, lean with the torso forward, keeping that back nice and straight, coming into your fire log pose. Oh my gosh. So I am feeling this posture. This is one of my all-time favorite postures. I do this in the airport. If I have enough space, I'll do it on the flight. If I'm feeling really tired or if I'm feeling just like I can't get comfortable in my seat, this is an excellent practice to do if you sit all day. Any kind of movement, really, just getting into the hips is a great thing to do. And this is a great posture. So long spine, chin is slightly tucked, looking down toward the floor, reaching through the crown of the head. My hands are gently resting on my foot and my knee. You can have your hands on your thighs or even holding onto your chair if that feels better. We're taking a couple deep breaths here to really get into that hip and open it up here. Let's take one more nice deep inhale here. Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead and come back into center. Gently uncross that leg here and then windshield wipe those knees back and forth for a little release of the hips. If you tune into the hips, one is definitely going to be feeling different than the other. This is good. We want this, but just keeping that in mind here as you settle in and get ready for the opposite side. So coming back into the neutral, we're right at the edge of our seat. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this from the side as well. Right at the edge of our seat, sitting up nice and tall. Left outside ankle comes to the top of the right knee. And it's really that lower part of the thigh, the fleshy part. Again, if your knee is up, that is okay. We're trying to work our way so it's more perpendicular with our other leg and parallel with the mat. So we'll inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, we'll hinge at the hips and lean with the heart center, folding forward over this leg. Woo, I'm feeling it on this side. Oh my gosh. So if you're like me and it's tight, that is okay. Keep in mind that we want to do the posture on both sides. It does not matter if we go as low or as deep on both sides. What's important is that we do it on both sides. So on this side, it doesn't feel like I can get as deep as I did on the other side, at least at first, and that's okay. Keeping this left foot gently flexed here, pressing forward with the heart center, chin is slightly tucked. We're long through the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Taking a couple deep breaths here as we start to feel that opening deep into that left hip capsule space. Good. On the next inhale, go ahead, bring yourself back on up into neutral. Release that leg here and then find some windshield wipers. So leaning those knees back and forth or side to side here. You can hold onto your chair. You can even lean back in your chair if that feels good, just to get a little release here for the knees. Great. And then we will con on up into neutral. We're going to come into our final relaxation. You are welcome to stay in your chair. You can also lay down on your back or find a more comfortable position, whatever feels right for you. I'm just going to stay in my chair here today, but know that you have options. So wherever you are, settling into a nice solid posture here, feeling yourself root down into the surface beneath you, whether that's into your chair or down onto your mat. We're going to inhale, draw those shoulders forward and up, and then exhale, drop them back and down. Good. One more time. Inhale, the shoulders come forward and up. And then exhale, they drop back and down. Find a comfortable spot for your hands. They can be on your legs, on your lap, out to your sides. Gently closing the eyes if that feels comfortable, or just find an unmoving point and soften your gaze. And taking a moment now to tune back into your breath, back into that inhale and exhale. That flow of the breath in and out of your body. Seeing if you can just really get specific and tune into some sensation of your breath, whether it's at the nose, in the torso, in the belly, in the throat. Let your attention gently rest right there on the breath, on that sensation. Now, if your mind wanders off on a thinking adventure, it's okay. Celebrate the moment that you've noticed it, and then come back to the breath time and again. If it feels right, you can reincorporate that mantra we used at the beginning of our practice here. Inhale, I can remain. Exhale, in connection. Inhale, I can remain. Exhale in connection. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a couple more moments here today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know I'm watching the time and I respect yours, and I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and just rest right here. All actions will be meaningful only when they are born of our freedom, our understanding and compassion, and our peace and joy. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air, and then slowly exhaling the breath back out. Taking another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, move your arms and legs, gently waking your body up. And when it feels right for you, just finding a comfortable position here to close out our practice, whether you return to seated or just readjust your posture. So sitting up nice and tall, inhale, those shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, they drop back and down. One more time. Inhale, the shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, they drop back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on your knees, in your lap, palms open or closed, or hands at heart center if you'd like. Closing your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this beginner, intermediate, and advanced series for class one that's focused on the lower back and hips. I am thrilled that you're here. Make sure to tune into my YouTube channel, Wild Blue Yonder Yoga, or Wild Blue Yonder Media, where you can find more practices, not only in this series, but other practices as well. I am so grateful that you joined me today, and I look forward to seeing you in a future practice. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.